They say youth is the spring of life, but there's a quiet beauty in autumn, a kind of wisdom only time can bring. What if the secret isn't resisting aging, but embracing the art of living with purpose, even as time insists on moving faster? Stay with me till the end, because maybe, in the words ahead, you'll find what you've been searching for all along, a new reason to embrace each day. Section 1. The myth of the end. Many believe that once you cross 60, all that's left is waiting. Waiting for the grandkids to visit, waiting for the medicine to work, waiting for the next doctor's appointment, the next holiday, waiting for time to pass. But that is a myth, one of the biggest ever told, because the truth is simple and powerful. Life doesn't lose meaning with age, unless you believe it does. Society often sees aging as a closing act, a time to stop, to step back, to let others take the lead. But who said purpose has an expiration date? Who decided that after 60, all we have left are memories? Memories are precious, yes, but they don't have to be the only place where life happens. Take Maria, for example. She spent her whole life caring for her home, her children, her family. She always said she never had time for herself. Until, at 70, she picked up a paintbrush for the first time. She painted flowers, oceans, landscapes. She painted what she saw and what she dreamed. And there, on that blank canvas, she discovered something. There was still so much color inside her. Then there's Pedro, a retired mechanic who worked for 40 years. He always carried stories in his mind. And one day at 68, he decided to put them on paper. He wrote an entire book, a simple work full of memories, lessons, and poetry. He said it wasn't for fame, just to leave a piece of himself in the world. He understood what so many take too long to realize. As long as there's desire, there's still a path forward. And you? What are you waiting for to begin again? Life isn't measured by the years that have passed, but by the courage to start over, even when everyone says it's too late. It's not time that determines the end. It's the absence of purpose. And purpose can be rediscovered at any moment, even in the quiet of an ordinary afternoon. Maybe the fresh start you've been searching for is in that forgotten drawer. That old idea, that silent longing to be yourself again. It's never too late. It's only too late for those who've decided to stop dreaming. Section 2. Finding purpose in the little things. Purpose, a word that sometimes feels so big and so out of reach. Many think having purpose means doing something grand, leaving a huge legacy, changing the entire world. But what if purpose is something much simpler than that? What if the true meaning of life lies in the small things, the details almost no one notices, the moments that slip by unseen, but touch the hearts of those who are paying attention? Sometimes, purpose is waking up and saying, "Today, I'm going to take care of myself. Today I'll walk slowly, without rushing, just feeling the breeze on my face. Today I'll call that friend I haven't spoken to in years. Today I'll live with intention." Because living with intention turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. Baking an old family recipe, the kind your grandmother used to make. Filling the air with the scent of childhood. That's purpose. Telling your grandchild a story, even if they've heard it before, that's purpose too. A long hug. A smile shared with a stranger on the street. A warm, sincere good morning. The world moves too fast these days, and in the rush so many forget that it's the small gestures that hold life's deepest meanings. And you know what's most beautiful? These little things don't require youth or physical strength or a lot of money. All they need is presence, openness, a willing heart. Never underestimate the power of a conversation with someone who's lonely. A cake baked with love for a neighbor. Sweet note left on the table. Sometimes your simple gesture is the one thing that changes someone's day. Sometimes changing the world starts with a small act, done with love. Finding purpose in the little things means remembering that a good life isn't about living long. It's about living fully, paying attention to what truly matters. And when you start seeing the value in these small moments, life stops being a count of days and becomes a collection of meaning. Today, your greatest purpose might just be to smile. Tomorrow, maybe it's simply being grateful you're here. And that is already more than enough. Section 3. Navigating life's challenges. Yes, aging comes with its difficulties. Your body doesn't respond like it used to. Climbing stairs takes more effort. Your joints protest. The mirror reflects marks that time has etched with quiet persistence. Harder than the physical aches are the absences. Some friends have gone, others are distant, wrapped up in their own lives. Grown children, busy with their own paths. The house, once full of voices and laughter, now feels too quiet on certain days. It's natural to feel longing. It's human to feel alone, but even in the struggle, there's room to grow, because every stage of life brings its own lessons. And with maturity, we learn that we don't need to have everything figured out to keep moving forward. Sometimes, what we need is simply to accept what we can't change, and to choose with courage to focus on what's still within our reach. The key isn't clinging to what's been lost, but making space for what can still blossom. Maybe you don't run like you used to, but you can still walk and notice the beauty of a flowering tree, a clear sky, a peaceful sunset. Maybe you've lost people who mattered, but you can still build new connections, new friendships, even if they're quieter, simpler. Maybe your energy isn't what it once was, but your wisdom has grown, and that is priceless. The challenges are real, yes, but they don't define your worth. They don't erase your story. Every wrinkle on your face holds a memory, every scar a battle you've overcome, and maybe, without even realizing it, just by being here today, still searching for purpose, you're already winning. It's not weakness to feel the pain, but it is strength to keep loving life, even when it's imperfect. Because living with purpose doesn't mean ignoring the hardships. It means facing them with kinder eyes, with a quiet faith that there's still beauty in ordinary days. Pain may visit, but it doesn't have to stay. So take a deep breath and remember, you're still here. There's still time, and where there's time, there's hope. Section 4. The power of connection. You don't have to go through this alone. Life can sometimes feel lonely, especially when routines change, children follow their own paths, and old companions are no longer nearby. But loneliness doesn't have to be the end of your story. At 60, 70, 80, it's still possible to make new friends. Yes, you can still share a smile with someone you just met. There's still room for new stories, new laughter, new shared cups of coffee. Because humans are made for connection. We're bridges, and relationships are the pathways that keep us standing. A conversation on a park bench, a heartfelt good morning at the gate, a book club, a music circle, or a prayer group. Any of these can reignite the spark of life within you. And more than what you receive, you have something precious to give. Your lived experience, your memories, your struggles, your victories, your stories. They're maps for those who feel lost, beacons for younger souls still learning to navigate life's storms. Have you ever considered that you might be exactly the guide someone is searching for? That your presence, your listening ear, your patience could change someone's day, or even their life. A simple piece of your wisdom might spare someone heartache, One of your memories could light up a dark path. Never underestimate the power of simply being there for others. And don't be afraid to open your heart again. Life moves in seasons. When one chapter ends, another is waiting for you to take the first step. Maybe it's a church group, a book club, dance lessons, painting classes, or gardening workshops. What matters is stepping out of isolation. Because even if the world outside has changed, the value of human connection remains the same. A hug still heals, a kind look still comforts, a listening ear still saves. You can, and should, build new bridges. Life's journey doesn't have to be lonely. There's still time for connections that make your heart come alive. And who knows? The next bond you form might be the very one that reminds you it's never too late to truly connect. Section 5. Legacy and Gratitude. Aging with purpose, it means learning to look back with tenderness, with less self-judgment and more gratitude. Gratitude for the paths you've walked, for the choices, even those that seemed wrong at the time. For loves experienced, losses endured, and difficult days that taught you resilience. Because all of it, every detail, every stumble, every joy, has shaped who you are today. There's no such thing as a perfect past, just a real story, full of ups and downs like every good life story should be. And perhaps you've never stopped to appreciate the greatness of your own journey. You created, fought, protected, taught, forgave. You left marks wherever you went, even without realizing it. That's your legacy. We're not talking about money or material possessions. We're talking about what can never be taken away. The power of your example, the memory of simple gestures, the warmth of your presence. Aging with purpose means understanding you've touched more lives than you know. A word that calmed someone, advice that helped guide a decision, respectful silence that comforted pain. You may not change the entire world, but you can change someone's world, and that is more than enough. This is what makes life beautiful. Not grand achievements, but small acts of love. So take a moment to look at your story with kinder eyes. See how much you've grown, how much you've endured, and how much you still have to give. Gratitude transforms memory. It helps even the hardest chapters find new meaning. Instead of counting the years that have passed, count the value that was lived. This is what aging with purpose looks like. Looking back with gratitude, living the present with intention, and moving forward with grace. Your story isn't finished yet, and it still has the power to inspire countless hearts. Section 6. The beauty of mindful routines. The rush that belongs to younger days. Now time no longer shouts, it whispers, and every daily gesture can become a ritual. Lighting a candle at dawn, watering a plant with care, preparing your morning coffee with tenderness, as if making a gift for yourself. What once seemed like repetitive routine can now transform into something sacred. Because when we live with awareness, even the simplest tasks gain soul. There's no need to rush, compete, or prove. Just to be present, to be whole in each small action. Washing dishes while listening to the rain outside, folding laundry while feeling the fabric's softness, caring for your home as if tending a temple. Life doesn't need to be loud to be meaningful. Sometimes, peace lives in the quiet, a silence that doesn't suffocate but embraces, that invites inner listening. In this calm, we begin to see the value of now. A cup of tea can be healing. A sunset can feel like life's embrace, and routine, the same one we once complained about, can become a silent prayer to the present. Each step in the garden, each deep breath, each pause to notice. This is living with intention. This is discovering beauty hidden in details. When you turn routine into mindful moments, you transform life into poetry. The poetry of simple days, quiet affections, and previously unnoticed instants that now glow with special light. Perhaps this is one of longevity's greatest secrets, not chasing grand adventures out there, but cultivating peace at home, within yourself, because the extraordinary lives in ordinary moments experienced with presence. Section 7. Rediscovering forgotten dreams. How many dreams did you set aside for later? That musical instrument gathering dust in the closet, the painting you started, but never finished, the letter left as a draft, waiting for courage, the course that seemed impossible without time or support. How many desires did time push to the back of your drawer? Now, maybe it's time to open that drawer, to dust off those old yearnings, because dreams, real dreams, don't expire. They simply wait, sleeping, until you're ready to wake them. And that moment could be now. At 60, 70, 80. There's still time. There's always time. It doesn't matter if you think it's too late. What matters is that spark still glowing inside you. Starting again takes courage, but it's also a gift you give yourself. Sometimes what we postponed our whole lives becomes exactly what renews our reason for being. Writing your memoirs, singing that song, dancing again, even if it's just in your living room. Rediscovering an unrealized dream is like reuniting with a part of yourself that's been waiting for the right moment, waiting for you to put yourself first. And who says dreaming is just for the young? Dreaming is for the living. And you, my friend, are alive, breathing, feeling, with stories left to tell, and new ones to live. Begin again. Not for what others might think, but for how it will make you feel to finally do what you've always wanted. This is where true purpose lives, in honoring what still pulses within you, even if the world says it's too late. It's never too late to become whole. And when you revisit a forgotten dream, you're not just recovering an old idea. You're reuniting with a part of yourself that's been waiting to come alive again. Section 8. The art of inspiring others. Your life has mattered, every scar life left on you, every victory that seemed small at the time, every tear you've shed. All of it has made you uniquely you. Each experience you've carried has made you stronger, wiser, more able to see the world in ways only you can. And you know what that means? You have wisdom to share. You can guide those still learning to walk their path, and comfort those on the verge of giving up. Sometimes purpose isn't just something you find within. It's waiting out there, in those who need to hear your story, in hearts craving an example, a guiding light. The world needs your voice, because you have an incredible power, the power to inspire. Someone out there, maybe without even knowing it, is waiting for your words. Maybe it's your grandchild, just learning life's challenges. Maybe a friend lost in loneliness. Maybe someone in your community who hasn't yet realized they can reinvent themselves, just like you did. You've traveled roads, others are just beginning to walk. You've won battles others have yet to fight. And what you've learned, the lessons you carry, these are gifts you can pass on. The power to inspire isn't reserved for the young or wealthy, but for those who've lived and understood life's true meaning. No matter your age, your story holds something that can touch another soul. Perhaps life's real greatness isn't in accumulating wealth or visible successes, but in becoming a light for those still finding their way. Because what you've done, who you've become, it isn't just for you. Your purpose includes others too. When you inspire someone with your journey, You give meaning to all you've lived through. Never underestimate your story's power. It's precious, unique, and it might be exactly the key someone needs to keep going on their own path. The world needs what you've learned. Are you ready to share it? Invitation to reflection. Today is another day, and that is already a gift. Another chance to open your eyes gently, to care for your body, your spirit, the memories you carry and the dreams still waiting to unfold. Because yes, there's still, there's always time. Time to forgive, time to try again, time to live with lightness, with intention, with purpose. Purpose doesn't live in some distant future. It lives right now, in that simple gesture, that kind thought, the willingness to begin again, even if it's just one small step at a time. Because the true meaning of life isn't about doing more. It's about feeling more. Feeling that you're alive, that your story matters, that each day is a new opportunity to leave traces of light. If this message has touched your heart, share this video with someone special. Maybe on the other side of the screen, there's someone who needs exactly this. A reminder that aging isn't an ending, but the beginning of a new way of living, a deeper life, a wiser life, a life more full of meaning. Because life doesn't end with years. It deepens. Age with purpose. Live with meaning, and never forget, you still have so much to experience, to feel, to offer, and to inspire. May you allow yourself to bloom even in life's autumn. And with each new dawn, may you remember that it's possible to find beauty, peace, and meaning in every new day. It's been a joy walking this path with you. Until next time, may our next meeting embrace you, just as this one has.